Hello everyone and welcome to a very wet Montreal. A very wet Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is about to play host to round 7 of the 2016 CRC World Championship. On a fairly wet track at the moment here in Montreal, and we are currently unsure about whether we're going to have a safety car start or not. Got an AI car going around at the moment when it's actually Louis Hyde's car, but just to actually look at what the situation is at the moment, this is the track at the moment. And you can see how hard it's raining. So they're currently debating on whether to have a safety car start or not. But a lot of drivers, like for example Will Esley, said on the team radio, but the track is fairly moist at the moment. So to be honest, what I think they should do, considering the current conditions, what I think they should do is they shouldn't delay the start. They should have a safety car start, and then they should have a safety car start, and then maybe run about 5 or 6 laps behind the safety car, and then with cars going round the track, with more cars going round the track, then that will create a dry line, and then maybe 5 or 6 laps in, they can start racing. But it is certainly set to be a very interesting race here in Montreal. The rain is not actually... The rain is not actually that hard, raining that hard, but just there was so much rain earlier on. There was so much rain earlier that the track is quite wet at the moment. So, but we're going to have the weather radar here. We've got a weather radar so we can see when things are coming in. But at the moment, the weather forecast has been saying all weekend it is going to be just consistent rain for the race. So here is the weather radar in Montreal. I'm actually going to put a link on the CRC Twitter at twitter.com/CRC Racing 1. At the moment they are under... We're not sure what way the wind is blowing at the moment. We're about to have the national anthem. It'll be 12:50 that we should have a final decision. We should have a final decision on whether we're going to have a safety car start. We should have a final decision at around 10:02 at latest. We should have and by the way, in case you're wondering about the weather, because CRC uses a live weather plugin, which basically detects what the real weather is. So basically, if it's raining lightly in Montreal, it'll be raining lightly here. But we are almost set for qualifying here in Montreal, or for the race here in Montreal. Don't know why I just said qualifying. Wasn't really concentrating on what I was saying. But in what really should be a fascinating race. In what really should be a fascinating one. And the thing that's not really helping the track in terms of the rate it's going to dry is the fact it's quite cold as well. So we know we are going to start on time here. We are definitely going to start on time, providing the weather does not get worse. But it's time for the national anthem of Canada. And that is the national anthem of Canada. And we are just receiving news that the race will start behind the safety car. It will be a safety car start here in Montreal. So, and that, to be honest, really does not surprise me. To be honest, we're going to have a safety car start here at Montreal. So that really does not surprise me, to be honest. I mean, as I said, it's raceable conditions, but there's so much water on the track at the moment. There is so much water on the track from earlier today that it's just going to be an absolute hazard for the drivers. They're just going to be aquaplaning everywhere, particularly with there being a kink before the first corner. So we will have a safety car start in the wet conditions, and it's just really not surprising that that is the way it's all gonna go. Anyway, I will be right back, and then it'll be time for the Canadian Grand Prix. we may have a little bit of a tiny delay as they get everything to terms with how they're going to do this safety car start, because at the moment the settings, if they do a safety car start by default, they'll only do 1 lap under the safety car, but they obviously think that they need to do more under the safety car. So we might have a bit of a delay whilst these are all tested. But the reasoning is basically exactly what I said, the reasoning for a safety car start. The reasoning for a safety car start, we're going to be delayed till 1:05. Till 7:05 for the race start, so they can get to turn for getting this all tested. So they can get this all tested. So we do have a bit of extra time to compose ourselves and hopefully be ready for 70 entertaining laps here. In a very wet but we are almost ready to, they're just going to test it. But I think we should be in for an absolute thriller today. I think we should be in for an absolute thriller. But the rain is stopping at the moment, so we should maybe get some changeable conditions. That's what I'm saying. Once cars have started, once they've gone around the track, we should get a dry line. If the rain is going to stop, because it's very fluctuations at the moment. And there is a fair bit of rain, but it could go. But it could easily go before we start. Just maybe a bit more of a delay if this thing's going to take this long. But we are set. I think we are set for a good one. As we're almost ready to get underway. Here in Montreal. So the way this is going to work, so they're going to do this before, when the safety car when they do the safety car lap, they're going to have the whole field pull away, and we'll do a lap, then they'll be under the safety car. We'll be under the safety car. So they're just waiting. To get underway, so we might have a bit more of a delay just so we can get all the real road and everything saved. So, it's almost time then. I mean, we may have a bit of a muted start to the race with the safety car start. But we are almost set for round 7 of the 2016 CRC World Championship. Hello everyone, welcome to Montreal. We are set for what should be a fascinating Canadian Grand Prix here at Montreal. But we will be starting under the safety car for today's race but that shouldn't be. We have seen in F1 we've seen good races with a safety car start. But the reason for the safety car start is not because the conditions are too dangerous. It's because with a kink towards turn 1, there might be absolute carnage that would not look good for a league. So they are just waiting to join the session here in Montreal. We're almost set for, hopefully we're going to get some fantastic action here in Montreal. The field are about to pull away soon. The 30 cars. The decision to start under the safety car because they don't want to have to proceed with having to do some but it is still raining out there here in Montreal. But so what we're going to do is we're going to have a few laps under the safety car. But a lot of people disappointed with the safety car start, but that's to avoid having to do a certain red flag. Having to have a certainty of a red flag. So just going to make sure everyone's going to be on the correct tyre for the race when they're going to pull away. So what they're actually going to do, so we're all going to get underway. The track is wet at the moment. With a rain intensity of only 7%. But it is still very damp out there. Okay, so no overtaking is going to be allowed here.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
No overtaking is going to be allowed as they're going round. They have to stop each other from overtaking here in the wet track, but there is already a dry line emerging. I think if they'd seen that before, then they might have been able to change their mind. But we are almost ready for the start, but I think we should be underway and we should have some racing quite soon after the safety car. And this is going to bunch up the field. So we'll be able to switch you to the scene when we're ready. So this will count as part of the race. But we have a dry line emerging already on this circuit, so I think perhaps if they'd known, so we might actually be ready for the slick tyres quite soon after. So they are on the first lap of the race now. So they are underway now. So this does actually count as part of the race. Waiting for this safety car to pick everyone up. They should have to catch up to the safety car shortly. But we are under safety car conditions. I have no idea where the safety car is at the moment. They're all just struggling around at the moment. But the rain is actually starting to pick up. The dry line is starting to go away. So we are actually underway for the race. That wasn't a racing lap, so that won't actually count. So they're just trying to find the safety car. They should be there very shortly indeed. So, but they've been released. So, let's hear the field go round. It looks, there is a lot of spray. I don't think it's time to go racing yet. Where is the safety car? I don't know where it is. There is the safety car, so they will catch up to it very shortly. So, under the safety car they are at the moment. The safety car has not broken down. There's a bit of people messing about on the. They have decided to release the cars a little bit just so they can get a dry line in. But there is some blue sky around. I believe the safety car is just ahead now. There it is. So it is going to pick up the whole field. Of course, they are going to wait to pick up the field. And the reason why it says 71 laps is because it is a 70 lap race here. As they are under the safety car. So, but it's going to be very interesting. How long is it going, if we are going to get the track dry, how long is it going to be before we go to drive? So Wesley has caught up to the safety car. Obviously they need to make sure the whole field can catch up. But everyone has been told to be careful. But Matthew Tewson said on the team radio apparently, go on, let's go racing. This is intermediate conditions here. So here's Wesley behind the safety car. We are almost timed. We should be going. I think we should be racing like within the next 3 laps. I'd say within the next 3 laps. Of course, this is an unexpected rain. But if we do get some dry tyres, what tyres has everyone chosen? That's going to be very interesting. Of course, they can't actually take the safety car off the track until the whole field of. I thought I just saw someone in the pits. No, it must be my imagination. Just getting the whole. They're just making sure the whole field can get up behind the safety car. But we're almost ready to get underway, and it's a 70 lap race. It's just they are almost there. They have almost managed to all group up behind the safety car. They're all trying to group up, and we are seeing a dry line emerging. But we're just waiting. So, the safety car really backing up the field. I think we should be racing. Apparently there is a lot of rain heading the way of Montreal, and the weather radar says this, but with cars constantly going round, we should be raceable. So, they're almost regrouped. I think we should be able to get this thing underway. We should be able to get this thing underway very shortly. And I can see we have got a lot of viewers right now. I'm really pleased. I am buzzing for when this race gets underway proper. I am absolutely buzzing for when this race gets underway. And safety car in this lap. Safety car is in at the end of this lap. So we will go racing. So safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, and we are going to go racing proper here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. Who's it going to be? Who is going to... It's just me a question of how Wesley is going to get this restart. So, Wesley is this start. This is the real start of the race. Here we go. Down the straight. So, safety car, lights are off on the safety car. It will be peeling in here. So, into the final chicane they go. And we are about to be going. It's Esley that leads from Moores, Coombs, Hawke, Jones, Duran. They're all being very careful. They're all going to be very careful before they try and move. Oh, we've got absolute carnage. They're all going off at turn 1. Surely they're going to have the red flag it. Surely they're going to have to red flag it here. But they're all going again. It's Alex Moores that leads the way. They all went off at turn 1. So many cars going off. And we've got so many retirements. Surely they're going to have to red flag this. So what happened then? It's the line it made them all take. So, they do have to sort this out. We've tried 5 laps under the safety car and they've red flagged it. And they have red flagged it. We did try 5 laps under the safety car. But so we've red flagged here whilst they're waiting for the weather to improve. But then we should hopefully get this thing underway. So we did 5 laps under the safety car. This would involve a refactor of the mod, so it may take a bit of a while to get this thing underway, but hopefully we should get it underway very shortly indeed. So what they're going to do is they're going to have the same procedure as they did before. And we will be still going with the grid. We did 4 laps under the safety car. So they're just trying to sort this out right now. There's clearly a problem at turn 1. And the fact that the cars were taking to the grass. So what they're having to do so what's actually happening is they're modifying the track slightly so they don't take that line, and so they actually can't take that line. And I never tweeted news the race will have a racing restart. But this rain has already caused a delay in this race. But hopefully we should have a thrilling 65 laps on the cards for you all to enjoy. So this delay is all worth it. So this is all worth it. So I do know how to sort this out. We do all know. So I'd say this delay may be around half an hour, or actually maybe less than that, to be honest, whilst we sort that out. So I should be able to test it. Time to uninstall everything. It will involve a repackage. But we did 5 laps behind the safety car. 4 laps, and then we had to red flag it. But then what is the rain going to do? Could that cause further delays? That's the other big question. I don't think it will. To be honest, I think we... But due to this delay as the... So, it's deemed too wet to race at the moment. But it will all be tested. We'll make sure it's all tested. I won't even see the test as it happens, but I'll be able to see the replay. So, because I'm not going to go through the effort of installing the mod again until I know it's all going to work. Until I know that it's all going to work. Which I would have to do for you to be able to see it. I mean, not the start that the organisers would have wanted so far, but hopefully with the changeable conditions, we will see a good race to make up for that. For all of this. So we're going to have 66 laps, which will include a few laps behind the safety car. If it's actually now going to load the mod so I can repackage it. We're gonna have an interview here. Marco Efods is on the grid here at. How was the track? Would you say?
I'd say the track was fairly wet, but I mean the track was still drivable. It's just some drivers are not particularly good at driving in the wet. I'm good at driving in the wet. I think we can easily go racing. We should let the drivers race. We should just let the more skilled drivers drive better than the others.
Yeah, But from 15th on where you're going to be, where do you think you can get up to? Are you hoping for points on your debut?
Easily points. I'm good in the wet. I know that much, and I know that a lot of drivers are going to make mistakes, as proven by the first start. So I can definitely get points. But I think it's a shame that the KSR didn't let the race continue as it was, because then I would probably have got a podium.
Yeah, thank you. And we believe that we have found Toby Jones here, who obviously will be doing the restart from 5th. How would you say the track is? How is the track, would you say?
How's the track? Track's fine. I don't see why we'd have to start under the safety car again. I just think that this is stupid because, as I've been told by my engineers, the weather's only going to get worse. So, either start now or cancel the race. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't start. Let's just get on with it. Let's just go. I'd rather just go. I'd rather do 10 laps under the safety car than just sit here. It's pointless. Let's just go.
Yeah, thank you, Toby. So obviously, Toby Jones is absolutely raring to go. Toby Jones absolutely raring to go. We are just going to have it tested. Then hopefully we should be able to get this thing underway. We should be able to get this thing underway here at Montreal. For real. We should be able to get this thing underway. I believe it should be underway within the next 15 minutes, I think. It should be underway within the next 15 minutes. And then let's just hope this time we will have some uninterrupted running. I'll be right back then. I'm just going to make sure everything's going to be installed, ready. So if this all works, then we are good to go. Excuse me. Oops, I think I did the wrong package, so we're not ready to go yet. I did the wrong package. We're not ready to go yet, to do the test yet. We might be underway. I still hope that we should be underway within the next 15 minutes. Or we should at least be behind the safety car within the next 15 minutes. The reason is because if they don't do anything, then the same will happen again. The reason if they don't do anything, the same will happen again. So they have to do this to avoid the same happening again, not just on a restart, but when we're under the safety car. As well. So I'm really sorry for the delay, everyone. It's like real F1 when we have a delay due to rain. But I think it should be we should be in for a thriller today. I personally believe we should be in for a thriller. When we do get this thing underway, it's gonna be so exciting to see all the drivers get to terms with the difficult conditions. It's going to be that is just going to be brilliant to see all the drivers struggle with the difficult conditions, all 30 of them. We're just waiting to be underway. The safety car will be slowed down, so when we do get underway, we can restart quicker, so the whole field can be released without a problem. It's always just the mod packaging always takes a while. We're almost set to get underway here. And I am confident we will get this thing underway very shortly indeed. In what should be a thriller of a Canadian Grand Prix. Remember last time we had a situation like this in Malaysia last year. Look what went down there. Look what went down there in Malaysia last year. That was an absolute thriller. It would be so good if we could see another thriller with a surprise winner. That would be so good. And I'm finishing all the interviews just because I have got to concentrate on getting all this ready. But now this is the actual test. I have packaged the mod properly now. I have packaged the mod properly now. But no matter what, it's a safety car will be out for 2 laps. But we should be almost set. Here in a if you've just joined us, we're waiting to be able to get underway here in Montreal. And there is some silver lining to this for some of the teams who have gone for an interesting strategy. With this delay, I mean, yes, there is rain expected for at least the next hour or so. But that means we could get some dry running towards the end of the race, maybe. We could get some dry running. Towards the end of the Grand Prix. We should get some dry running. Of course, in terms of the timing, we do have to get the race in before, because 11 is when the race has to finish, no matter what. I am just doing it so I can show how this goes, this restart goes. It'll be on in background, because I don't really... But they're all waiting. But we should be able to see whether this has all worked the way intended quite shortly. And then we should, after this has all been tested, we should be able to get this thing underway. And the rain does appear to be easing up a little bit here. The rain does appear to be easing up. A little bit. We'll have 65 remaining laps here in Montreal. But looking at the radar, there is a lot of rain coming. So to be honest, I think if we get underway within the next 20 minutes, we will be under wet conditions for the next. We will be under wet conditions for the next few hours or so. It's expected to be driving continuous rain, but let's just hope we don't need any more red flags due to the weather. Let's just hope we don't need any more.
Green flag, go, go, go!
And that test didn't work, but I know exactly how I need to do it. But don't worry, I know, leave me alone, I know what I'm doing. I know a quick fix. I will need another repackage and another test. But don't worry guys, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I need to do. I do know exactly what I need to do to sort it out. And we should be underway in 20 minutes. I know exactly what I need to do to get it to work. And this will mean the cars will take the inside, because basically the cars they have a system in rFactor 2 where basically I think it's like towards the first corner they take a line and it's the outside line they're all taking it. So what I'm gonna do is make them take the inside line, and then that should all be fine. And then that should all be fine. And it's going to be a quick modification. So we've almost had an hour delay due to the weather conditions, which I'd like to say. I think I've lost my controls for this, and that's not helpful. What I'd like to do. But what I think it is it's the transition from that path to the wet path that's doing it. But if it's from an inside line, they're doing it from the inside. But I do know what I'm doing. But this is really frustrating for all the teams that are all still hyped up to go racing here today. But in a delayed Canadian Grand Prix. In a delayed Canadian Grand Prix. And then the thing that doesn't really help is when this computer decides it wants to take a while to do things. Decides it should take like 20 seconds just to click something. But we are almost set to get this thing back underway. It decides it must take this long. But I do really hope, I honestly believe this could be a thriller of a race. I'm trying hard. Please don't turn off, everyone. I am trying really hard. I am trying really as hard as I can to go as quick as I can. I'm going as absolutely quick as I can possibly go to be able to get this thing underway. I am trying all I can. I am trying all I can. and it's just doing another repackage, then I'm going to try again. Don't care if they're all pits because of them being put on wet tyres. But hopefully we won't have too many laps under the safety car. They're just going to probably wait till the whole field regroups. And now I can get the test underway. Another test underway. Hopefully the last one I have to do. This will hopefully be the last one I have to do. And then I think it's soon after we can get this working, we should be underway. We haven't had any so I am confident we will get this thing underway ever so shortly. The Canadian Grand Prix. So it's a race that has been delayed. So still Wesley as the race leader. But talking about the race, I think there are so many. I mean, Wesley has had a dominant season so far. Finished first or second. Does everybody think today could be the day that he because we do have some, with it being wet, Yanata Rokaran, we've seen that Dork have a car that's quite handy in the wet. FP1 was wet and Chantal Hawk topped the session on pure merit. So we know Dork have a car that is pretty handy in the wet. Dork do have a car that is pretty good in the wet. So we should be able to get this test done for you shortly. And then we'll get this underway. Then we can get this thing underway. There is going to be a bit more standing water on the track, but that's not going to stop the organisers. We have raced with standing water like this. There's more cars going round. We will get a dry line. We should have the test done in a moment. Now please, let's hope it works. Don't want to have to do any more repackages. But for the wet conditions, the safety car has been decreased. Pace has been decreased. For the wet conditions.
Green flag, go, go, go.
So this is going to be hopefully. So here we go. Please don't use the grass, guys. And it worked. So we should be underway. So we should be underway within the next few minutes. We should be underway. So now they're just making sure everything is all set. Then we can get back underway. And then hopefully for real this time. The drivers have been told to get back in their cars. But we are almost set to get back underway here in Montreal. So we're going to be back underway. We're going to be back underway very shortly. But this is really...
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
not what the drivers wanted. I'll be right back, then it'll be time for the start. But I think we might see we're back underway. The field have pulled away. As before, they have pulled away under the safety car, but there have been some modifications that have been made. To make sure we can go racing proper. So it's going to be as soon as the drivers... So we'll lead the field away with 60... Oh, of course, this is lap 5 of the race. there's the safety car. So they're going to wait for the whole field to regroup behind the safety car before they're going to get this thing underway. Due to the conditions. So to be honest, I think they're going to have 2 more laps behind the safety car. I think including this one. But it should be a very interesting race. So they're just waiting for the whole field to regroup. That safety car will not be coming in at the end of this lap because they're already in the final section. They have to call the safety car to come in. That field have regrouped, but they have to call it to come in. But let's just hope that we have the remaining laps without interruption. Just going to turn the game audio down a little bit. So, yep, confirmation, safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. Fingers crossed, this time we get a proper start. This time we do get a proper start. But this time we do. It is a proper restart here at Montreal. The rain isn't heavy. But the track is damp. But the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. Let's hope that we do get a thrilling. Alright, brace yourselves everyone, I think this could be a really exciting race. Now the race hasn't really got underway yet, but we will be getting underway properly at the end of this lap. So, they're all backing up, the safety car leading the field. Now just the length of the straight. Everyone has time to just contemplate how they're going to take this restart. The 30 drivers. How many of them will see the checkered flag? Let's just hope we see as many as possible. So, the safety car is going to come in. Here we go. They head into the final corner. And we're underway. So, it's Esley that leads the way from Moors. Combs, Hawk, Jones, Duran, Miller, O'Driscoll, Woodward and Buchan as they head into the first corner. So far, it's all fine. It's Essley that leads the way. Alex Moore is going with him. So far, no problems. They've got the Lockie and the Tove going side by side, going into turn 1. But it's Will Essley who leads the way. We are finally underway with some racing. It's Essley that leads from Moores, Coombs, Hawk. Don't forget DRS is already enabled. We're just hearing DRS enabled. So we should see some action ever so shortly. So far, I'm pretty sure everyone's just trying to just keep it clean. Of course, on this restart, there is still a long way to go in this race. But look at Will Essley. He's already starting to streak clear. But Chantel Hawk is starting to catch up to Matt Coombs in the Masterforce. Here you've got Rosie O'Driscoll. Are we going to see any moves heading down into the chicane? As they all get the drive off the hairpin. It's Rosie O'Driscoll, because we know how good the Coombs GP is in a straight line. As they head up into the final corner, it's Essie that leads. But once they all get close to each other, we should see some action. The two Gindanas getting very close, but everyone's just biding their time. Will Essie sets the fastest lap of the race so far. They're all really starting to get used to this track. Got two side by side. RTS is here in the back, and it's Louise Morrow who's managed to get past her teammate Phoebe O'Connor. As they head into turn 1, they're all going to the inside. Just taking it ever so simply. George Chandler has made up ground at that. We need to watch his progress. He is right behind the HWR of James Lang. I think this is probably going to be the battle to keep an eye on. But DRS is always enabled in the wet in CRC. Different to real F1. I'm not sure why real F1 don't enable it, but they're all... the order's fairly static at the front at the moment. James Lang still under pressure here from George Chandler. Is he going to go for the move into the hairpin? Great move from George Chandler into the hairpin. And George Chandler gets up into 26th place. It's going to be very interesting. The RTS is starting to come alive a little bit here. DRS has not been enabled yet. Here in the wet conditions, Alex Moores has set a faster lap than Will Essley. They have got DRS now as Louise Morrow has it open as she goes after. It's at the back where it's all kicking off. Alex Moores as George Chandler is going to try it around the outside. What a fantastic move from George Chandler around the outside of Elliot Everson in the battle for 25th place. So George Chandler is the one that's on the move at the moment. And Alex Moores is going with Will Essley up front. He's not letting Will Essley get away, is he? As he's got Chantel Hawk right behind Matt Coombs in the battle. Doesn't look like anyone's really using DRS down the straight. As Will Essie now sets the fastest. They're all getting faster, the times are. But Alex Moores has gone fast with that conditions, or does Alex Moores genuinely have more pace? But the two Gindanas are getting right up behind the two brown asses. The Gindana is quite a handy car in the wet. We know it's handy in the corners. We saw it in Monaco. So I think Gindana's. Matt Coombs is starting to lead a train here. But due to the dirty air, Chantel Hawk is struggling to get close. But they're all aquaplaning on the straight, and that is why they're not using DRS down the back straight. Because of aquaplaning. I thought I saw a change of position behind. Alex Moores is starting to get really close. Chantal Hawk's really close to Matt Coombs now, but wasn't quite close enough down the straight and just can't seem to get the exit off the corners. But it is going to be when the back markers come into play where things could really kick off. I think everyone's just going to want to bide their time. Oh, Chantal Hawk going very wide, getting into turn 2. She needs to be a bit careful because otherwise she's going to let Toby Jones through into 4th place. It's wet at the moment, so they're all just biding their time. As Jack Baldwin right behind the Baronasso of Will Buchan. But there is a clear dry line now. Here the cars are discarding. Chantal getting a bit closer, but she can't seem to get close enough on the exit of the hairpin. It just seems to be where it matters, because without DRS down the straight, it just seems to be where it matters that she's just not getting close enough to the Coombs GP. But the two Nasrokers are pulling away, and that's because Chantal Hawk, who we know has good pace in the wet, is absolutely stuck behind Matt Coombs. Alex Moores is going with Will Esley up front. Lucas Quintanilla right behind, but it's going to be when the back markers come into play when we should see a lot of action. Everyone at the moment is just biding their time because, of course, offline it is very wet. But what Hawk really needs to do here is to force the issue. So we are 14 laps into this race here in Montreal. What she is going to really want to do is to just force the issue. But what throws you just because we know that she is really good at these banzai manoeuvres. You can see Hawk does close in a straight on the Mars Force, but just doesn't seem to be able to get the drive off the corner. Either that or she's just waiting for the opportunity to come. She's just waiting for an opportunity to get past. Oh, we've got pit stops that are going to happen at the end of this lap for a couple of cars. A few cars are going to come in at the end of this lap. Abby Leggett's coming in. Marco Ifos is coming in. There's a dry line emerging. The Anatarokas aren't coming. Look at Alex Moores now. So what are they going to do then? Are the likes of Legit and... So Legit comes in. So what are they going to do? Legit, Ethos, Quincy Lacoste, they're all these back runners are coming in. Oh, we got an instant. That is George Chandler and Phoebe O'Connor coming together. Are they actually really going to risk going to the slick tyres? It looks like they are. They're all risking going to the slick tyres. It's still wet. Or they're going to the intermediates. So they're all going to... It looks like it is the crossover point. This is going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out. Because I personally do think this is Inter's weather now. The two Yanatarokas have their lights on. So they're all coming in for Inters now. And the back markers are even risking it on dry tyres. You know, what the thinking behind that is it's definitely not slick tyre weather yet. Surely. So they're all coming in. Looks like it is. That everyone thinks that it's slick tyre weather. So they're all coming out of the pits now. Oh, that's almost an unsafe release. But I think the thinking behind that is there's a dry line coming. And that with more cars going round. So I don't think this is a silly decision because it's not raining heavily. It's only really drizzling. It's only really drizzling round here at the moment. But this is going to be fascinating stuff to see how this all works out. I mean, in rFactor 2, the rain, I think, is a little bit more visible than it should be. And we've got a yellow out. Who's had a problem, I wonder? Oh, that's Louis Hyde who's had an incident. Come together with someone. We have had an incident somewhere. I thought I saw someone without a rear wing. Oh, that's Dan Milner straight into the back of Rosie O'Driscoll. And that surely is going to be O'Driscoll's race over here. And they're all coming in. It's clearly not dry tyre weather yet. The Anatarokas have stayed out. Will Bucker's gone out on the intermediates. This is fascinating stuff. They all got it wrong. And the likes of Legit and co are going to be in the lead of the race. Rosie O'Driscoll is out of the race. Of course, without a rear wing. They're all coming in. I think the rain's picked up again. So this is really confusing stuff. For all these team principals, where are these two? This is really confusing stuff. So, the Anatarokas coming in, yet it's clearly not the time. Will Buchan is going to end up in the lead of the race here. They're all preparing to come in. For the wet tyres, it looks like it is still wet tyre weather. The Anatarokas have gone back out on the wet tyre. So clearly everyone thought it was enough for the change, but clearly it's not. This has been an absolutely fascinating race so far. And Phoebe O'Connor, oh, that's an unsafe release right there from both Chantal Hawk and Dan Myrna. They're all racing on pit entry. And now the order has been really changed. Matthew Toussaint's been promoted into the points now. But the two Yanata Brokers up front. Will Buchan up into third. They all did try the wet tyres, but the rain does appear to have picked up again. And oh, that's Jack Baldwin and Dan Myrna going at it so far at the moment. As Chantal Hawk trying to find the wet track. So, lap 16. And there are back markers ahead. Now this could get very interesting. If things couldn't get any more interesting. They're all kind of biding their time at the moment. Lucy Woodward up there into 7th. Phoebe O'Connor. What a strategy she's pulled off. She's up into 13th right now in the RTS. It's just when we're going to see the likes of Buchan. They're going to catch up to Buchan. And there are no streaming issues. It's probably just your connection, whoever's having issues. So on my screen it's all fine. Matt Coombs right behind Lucy Woodward now. I mean, there was all this confusion just now of everyone just working out what is the right tyres to be on. As Walesi puts a lap on the Speed Tech. And this is the obstacles that the Yanata Brokers are going to have to overcome here. Dan Myrna right behind Matthew Toussaint in the battle for 9th place. This could be quite easy pickings here for Dan Myrna. He's got the run down towards Duquesne. Is he going to be able to get through down the inside? Yes, he is. So Dan Myrna is up into 9th place. Chantal Hawk is going to have a go as well, surely. This has been I've thoroughly enjoyed this race so far. We had to wait quite a bit, but this has been thrilling stuff. I mean, even though we've not really seen much action up front. We have 2 retirements so far. That is Louis Hyde and Rosie O'Driscoll. Oh, this is where things could get very interesting for Walesi. He's got back markers to overcome that are battling him for position. Matt Coombs here, you've got stuck behind Lucy Woodward. In the early stages, everyone was just biding their time. Now, they're all going at it. We're not even half distance yet. As Matt Coombs, is he going to be close enough this time? Not quite. As here behind, you can see Chantal Hawk going for the inside of Matthew Towson into the final chicane, and she has managed to make that move stick. And now it's Jack Baldwin who is right behind, heading up towards turn 1. This has been a great race so far. There's Esley making his way through the traffic. But this is the part of the field where it's all kicking off. We're only on lap 24. I mean, we are approaching half distance now. But Matt Coombs, behind Lucy Woodward, doesn't seem to be able to get the drive off the corner. But he has got the straight on speed. I think this is his best chance of all, but he's not. I thought he was going to send one up the inside there. Chantal Hawk is really starting to close up to the master force of Dan Milner. She really lost out in all that confusion. Abby Leggett right behind Phoebe O'Connor. So Walesi's still behind traffic. They're all... I've got yellow out there. Who's had a problem, I wonder? There's been an instant summer. That is, I think... Who went off there? What happened? I think that was Lucy Woodward going off. Lucy Woodward going off at the chicane, and she has lost ground. So Lucy Woodward has been off. When are we going to see the next twist in the tail in this race? So Woodward has dropped down to 10th in all of this. And the incident between Rosie O'Driscoll and Dan Milner is under investigation. I think that's going to be a slam dunk one for Dan Milner. But still, it is Walesi who's dominated this race so far, once again. I mean, it may be completely different conditions, but he's still dominated in his typical fashion. We will see pit stops later on when the wet tyres wear out. Jack Baldwin is struggling to get past Matthew Towson. They're all just biding their time now. Hannah Duran closing up to Will Buchan, whilst Chantal Hawk catches up to Dan Milner. So, lap 26 of the 70 that we have scheduled. We did 4 laps before the safety car before it was deemed too wet to go racing. Essie seems to be conquering this traffic well. Tell you what, Jack Bourne got a reasonable drive off the hairpin. So he might be able to have a look, but the thing is the Quintana just doesn't close enough in a straight to be able to make the move into the final chicane. Happy Legit's still stuck behind. Two retirements, Louis Hyde and Rosie O'Driscoll. But now we have a little bit of a lull in proceedings. At the moment, Hannah to Rat, and now we're going to see back markers come involved here. And in these battles towards the back of the field, this is where things could get very interesting. Oh, we are going to have pit stops now. Are they going to try it again? Well, Essie's coming in, Buchan's coming in, Duran's coming in. Well, actually really strong. Is this for because the tyres have worn out, or is it for inters? Chantal Hawk is caught right up to the back of Dan Milner. So, Essie comes out on the intermediate tyre. So once again, it's happened. So we might have changeable conditions here. We've got yellow out there somewhere. Who's had a problem? That is Chloe Carter, who's been off. Oh, that's a drag race on pit exit between Chantal Hawk and Dan Milner, who gets forced onto the grass there, but Chantal Hawk's won that race. And apparently the weather is set to dry. It's not raining that much anymore. So they're all going out on the option tyres, and I can tell you that the rain has actually stopped. But this is interesting. The Anata Rokers have already made the call to pit. And once that call is made, they have to pit. They don't have a choice. Looks like they all have realised it's not yet the time. In what really has been a fascinating race so far, the rain has stopped. So I think if it does remain having stopped, we should get dries and we should get away from all this confusion. Essie's gone back out on the full wet, so it might be a bit of time. Toby Jones has stayed out on the dry tyre. I think Toby Jones has got this very right here, because the Anata Rokers are surely going to have to stop again. A lot of these guys, I think Toby Jones has got this really right. Here they all had to pit. I think now they're realising that the track's dried. Toby Jones is going to have a massive lead here in the QGB. I think it is definitely dry weather tyres now. The track has dried. It's dry weather tyres now. Toby Jones leads the way. And Lucas Quintanilla on the dry tyres at the moment, but he's already made the call. And this is really going to cost Walesi as he's having to wait for multiple drivers. Intermediate tyres, that's interesting. For Walesi, does he feel that it's still enters weather? But it's all gonna, this has caused a massive shake-up of the order. Phoebe O'Connor stays out. But Walesi might have screwed this one up here. Essie might have screwed this up. Because he's changed to the intermediate tyre. Alex Moore's on the dry. This is going to cost Walesi horribly. Look how much he's struggling. And they're all having to, he's having to pit. Is Walesi. This is going to cost him horribly. And I think Walesi is going to be lucky to win this Grand Prix. He's got going now, but he's dropped way behind. He's in P5, we've got a yellow flag out there, so what's happened? Who's had a problem? Phoebe O'Connor exits the pits on the dry tyre. But Lucas Quintanilla has been promoted up to 6th. Up to 3rd at the moment. Yellow out there again. Oh, Toby Jones has gone off. But in all of that, the order is Jones. This is going to be very hard to cover in the highlights video. Quintanilla, Milner, Esley, Hawk. Another yellow out there. Who's had a problem this time? Oh, Kerry-Ann Peace is out of the race. She's gone off at turn 1. Hannah Duran set the fastest lap of the race. Wandra Gala's managed to get past O'Connor, but the track has dried. Toby Jones has an impressive lead here. But it's been very hard to make heads or tails of what's going on. As Dan Milner gets past Lucas Quintanilla, heading into the chicane. Will Esley's now right behind. But the whole order has changed in all of this. Esley sets the fastest lap of the race. Now Chantel Hawk sets the fastest lap in the Dork. As Matt Coombs gets past Phoebe O'Connor. But there's Matt Coombs here right behind Max from Degala. It's all kicking off ahead. Lucas Quintanilla's really bet he could get some good points here this afternoon. Oh, Chantel Hawk getting really boxed down by these back markers. And that is the Shantana. Going into the side, Chantel Hawk's finally cleared the Shantana, what used to be her sister team, the Dork Racing team. As Matt Coombs still hasn't managed to get past Max from Degala. But Walesi has been on the team video saying, I've lost this race, haven't I? But he said there's still a long way to go. We're over half distance. There is still a long way to go in this race. There could be safety. This is a safety car. We could see Esty have more of a chance. I mean, yes, he's still got a big lead anyway, so he doesn't need to worry. As Matt Coombs gets past Max von Degala. I've got a yellow out there. Who's had a? Well, that is the Wigglesworth car. Marco Ifos having a problem. Another yellow out there. Someone having another problem. As Will Esley is now going to get past Lucas Quintanilla here, and that was a crucial move for Will Esley and the Aneta Roca. But Lucas Quintanilla up there in 5th. He's having a great day. As here you've got Will Buchan behind Abulet. We're going to see a lot of overtaking in these remaining laps. I'm telling you now. How long's Esli been on these tyres? This is an interesting thing. We could see some late pit stops here. They're all on the hard tyres. So how long's Wood Esli been on these tyres for? The likes of Esli been on these tyres. So he pitted on lap 33, on lap 29 in this sense. And in the test, so how far will the hard tyres go? That's going to be very interesting. That is, of course, if we don't see any more rain. But Toby Jones leads the way. Yeah, I think that the hard tyre runners should make the end on these tyres. I think the hard tyre runners will make the end of the race on these tyres. Providing it doesn't rain, of course. It's still dry. There is still... Everybody's a bit tentative to make moves now because, of course, there's a wet part of the track. So, Will Buchan's managed to get past Abu Ledger in the battle for 15th. Oh, we've got a yellow out there. Who's had a problem? We've only got 3 retirements in all the action that we have seen. Oh, front wing, that is, I believe that's a Shantana who is without a front wing. Ben Blakemore has lost his wing. He goes off trying to get out of the way of Duran. He lost his wing. Everyone's just biding their time right now. As Chantel Hawk's going to dive it up the inside of Lucas Quintanilla. Surely not. That's a very opportunistic move from Chantel Hawk. And she has made that move stick. That was a great move from Chantel Hawk. We've got yellow out there. Who's had a problem, I wonder? Esli starting to catch up to Dan Mir. So at the moment, he would only lose. I mean, there's Hannah Duran in 7th, and she's in 2nd at the moment. He'd only lose. I mean, Alex Mortius likes to be the person he's going to fight for the championship. So at the moment, he'd only lose 2 points. But Dan Mirna, I think he's going to have to pit at some point anyway. I think Dan there is going to have to pit at some point. He's on the hard... No, he's not going to have to pit. So I knew one of the Master Forces were on the hard tyre. Chloe Carter running up in 9th, but is falling back and losing time to Lucy Woodward. Particularly in all that traffic. And Matt Coombs as well. Oh, Ifos has lost his wing. That could be the explanation to what... No, he hasn't. That's just the livery that just made it look like that, because the front wing's black, so it looked like from a distance the front wing was gone. Matt Coombs right behind Lucy Woodward in the Baronessa. There's Chloe Carter's there. Oh, well, Leslie's managed to pass Dan Miller. That is crucial stuff. So 26 laps left to run in this Canadian Grand Prix. There's been so much action. This has been enthralling. Alex Moores is actually starting to catch up to Toby Jones a little bit. I mean, there's still quite a gap. A safety car would close the gap. The Rams catching up to Quintanilla. I believe Quintanilla's going to have to stop as well. But this has been an enthralling race. Yep, Quintanilla, I think, will have to stop again. So how long has he been on the tyres for? Yep, Quintanilla is going to have to come in again, as is both of the Dork Racing cars. And that's where things are going to get very interesting in this race. As Lucy Woodward's managed to get past Chloe Carter, now Matt Coombs is right behind. Jones is on the hard tyre, so he's going to have to stay. He will be able to stay out. But Toby Jones is looking really good. At the moment for a win. He doesn't have to stop again. Lots of backmarks, so even if there is a safety car, then it won't affect him. So as down the straight goes Matt Coombs. He breezes past Chloe Carter in the Lockie. So Chloe Carter has been demoted to 11th place. As Matthew Touston gets past trying to get past Phoebe O'Connor, but backs out a little bit. But it's all looking very good for Toby Jones right now. Duran has passed Luke Swinton, so where did she do that? Oh, really took advantage of the back marker there. Chantal Hawk has managed... That is interesting. Chantal Hawk has managed to pass Dan Milliner. I don't know why someone's hacking the CRC Twitter. That engine smoke I saw ahead, but that might have been just spray. But let's have a look at where Hawk did that. Took advantage of a back marker again, the speed tech. Oh, I believe that's Bex Howie. But it was a race that's been really affected by a lot of drivers being confused. Apparently we do have some rain on the way. Are we going to see any rain fall towards the end of the race? Any more rain as Marco Ifos gets past Harvey Williams in the battle for 22nd. George Chandler's driving well in 19th, though he got caught out a lot by... We do have blue sky at the moment, so... But it is all getting very interesting here. It started in sun conditions, it was delayed quite a way. Oh, Alex Morse has gone off at the hairpin. But he's managed to recover. Yellow flag out there. Who has had a problem? That was Marco Ifos, I think. He's having a difficult debut at the moment. But Alex Moore's going off at the hairpin, making a mistake. Of course, you really don't want to throw this away, Alex, because if he does throw this away, what is that going to do to his mentality for the remainder of the year? But Woodessley is going to rue the decision as Matt Coombs gets past Lucy Woodward. Woodessley is going to apt yellow out there. That is one of the Wigglesworth cars. That is Marco Ifos once again. He's had a tough debut trying to keep out the way. He has had a very tough debut. 19 laps left to go here in Montreal. Wood-Esley gets past. As Woodward repasses Matt Coombs as a result of the back marker. But the question is, when are we going to see Chantal Hawk come in? And Hannah Duran as well on the faster tyre. Chantal Hawk is, I believe she's on the softs. Yep, she is on the soft tyre. Duran's on the medium, so is Quincy. So we are going to see a flurry of activity in the closing laps when all these guys and girls come into the pits. We could see the likes of Coombs, Carter, Wondragala maybe, Buchan come in back into this. And I think the top three are looking fairly static right now. Oh, Hawk's in! Hawk's in at the end of this lap! There is the answer! Is she going to be able to come in? Of course, I think she knows she's coming in, and she did that very well, not to make contact. She might have to come in again, but I think she maybe believes she can get some... She can get a good final few laps out. I think she believes she can get another 20 laps out of these tyres. It's a very long stop though. What's going on here? This could cost her dearly. She's got going now. She rejoins. I think she will have to stop again, to be honest. I think Dork made a mistake putting her on the soft tyre. We should expect Wood-Esley to go to the end. We should expect the top four to go to the end. Woodward and Coombs still going at it, but Hawk gets in on the act, and she's going to fight her way around the outside. What a move! Managing to get past them both. Chantal Hawk may be having a bit of a difficult race, but she's certainly showing her racecraft today. That's two fantastic moves. And I think that one was even better than the first. Two fantastic moves she has pulled. Alex Moores puts a lap on Jack Baldwin. So at the moment, in terms of the championship, this is not going to affect the championship that much. I'm sure what Alex Moores is going to hope is that Toby Jones has an issue. Oh, Wood-Esley's had a problem at the final chicane, and he's made a mistake. He spins it. But he recovers. He's lucky to get away with that one. So Matt Coombs still cannot get past Lucy Woodward permanently. Yellow out there. Who's had a problem? I believe that might be Louise Morrow. Or who's that? That is the speed tech of Elliot Everson who's gone off. Another yellow out there. The yellow did take an unusually long time to come in. But the big question is, can Chantal Hawk make it to the end on these soft tyres? That's an interesting question. As Matt Coombs is now finally going to get past Lucy Woodward permanently if he can pull away. He's finally made the move on Lucy Woodward. As Will Buchan gets round the outside, could he come into the points now? He was running so well earlier on, was Will Buchan. He's in P11. The RTS, which was having problems which was really good in the wet conditions. Phoebe O'Connor starting, I mean, she's driving a good race today, but she's starting to struggle a touch. Oh, Louise Morrows and Kieran Hardy are without a front wing. Need to have a look at what happens, and that might explain why the yellow flags were out. So what happened to Louise Morrow and Kieran Hardy? Oh, Hardy lost it. Kieran Hardy spun it. Actually got tapped by Phoebe O'Connor. Might be a penalty coming Phoebe's way. And then Louise collects him. Both cars are back in the race now. Hannah Duran's coming in at the end of this lap. For a new set of the medium tyre. So she will go to the end. I mean, this has been a fascinating race. I think it's been the best race of the season. Oh! And now she completely hits Dan Myrna into a spin. Myrna's able to recover. Duran has no front wing. That's going to cost her in the pits. So that will probably be a penalty coming Duran's way. As Jack Baldwin and Louise Morrow who came together. Just to correct. So Duran exits the pits. Where is she going to come out? There's Chantal Hawk. Behind Matt Coombs, who I believe has to stop. And behind Lucy Woodward. It all depends on when they all pitted. I don't think any of the hard tyre runners will have to stop at the end of the race. When it says 66 out of 67, because of the way I've done it today, that will be the final lap with the safety car start and everything. That will be the final lap. But I think Duran has a penalty coming her way. But I don't think there's any rain on the prowl. Here. As Coombs comes into the pits. Quintanilla's coming in as well. But Quintanilla is certainly on for a good result here today. As Buchan comes into the pits. Matt Coombs had a poor stop. This has promoted Chloe Carter back into the points. As Matt Coombs comes out right by Max and gone. This is where we could see some action here. Yellow flag out there. I believe it was Duran who went off. Oh, she hit Woodward into a spin. Oh, we got contact there. That's Duran and Lucy Woodward once again, who have come together. Oh, Lucy Woodward spins and then hits Duran and trying to get out of the way of the race leader. And Woodward's coming into the pits, of course, for the medium tyres. Another, we got so many yellow flags out there. Another yellow has come out. Oh, David Bland's gone off at the final chicane. And he's out of the race. Just away from the firing line. Chantal has managed to get past Kieran Hardy. Let's have a look at where she did that. She did it going into the final chicane. So, down the straight, yellow out there again. Who's had a problem this time? That is James Lane. They're all struggling a little bit now. Particularly, I think this is the fact the grass, or Lane got hit by one Dragala. So, 10 laps to go in Canada. It's looking good for Toby Jones. But how long has Toby Jones been on these tyres for? That's the big question. Actually, Toby Jones, he's been on these tyres since lap 15. Or its definition of lap 15. I think he's going to have to stop again. Well, actually, no, he isn't. He's been on them since lap 26. So I don't think he's going to have to, of the post-red flag period. I don't think Toby Jones is going to have to stop again. Tewson's in the final point. But Matt Coombs is really closing up to Wellesley. Ifos had to retire, we didn't see that. What happened to Marco Ifos on his debut? Oh, he had a gearbox failure. So Ifos out due to a gearbox failure. So Coombs gets past Leggett. in what has really been an interesting Canadian Grand Prix. We do have some clouds coming. You can see in the distance. That looks like a pretty overcast cloud coming the way of the track. So 7 laps remaining here in Montreal. And we had a lot of confusion at the start, and that's turned this into a fantastic race here in Montreal in changeable conditions. Oh, that's Chloe Carter's gone. That is a shame. She was running very well. That is a shame. Right in front of Alex Moores as well. That is a shame. Chloe Carter was having a good day. Will Buckens managed to get past Abby Leggett. So that's it. So Matthew Tewson goes to the inside to defend from his ex-team. And Matt Coon's going to try it around the outside, and eventually Tewson has to back off. So that's 62. Oh, is that Kieran Hardy with a problem? And that's Jack Baldwin, who's got a smoking car. He was having a difficult afternoon, anyway. There's now Will Buchan right behind Matthew Tewson. This is where all the battling might take place. Abby Leggett is catching up as well. This could take the final point off of Matthew Tewson here. And Will Buchan gets past the Mossad. Now Matthew Tewson has said on the radio, I have absolutely no pace whatsoever. I'm really struggling. So, lap 63. Lap 76. Lap 66 out of 70. So Jack Baldwin has got a smoking engine. He's going to have to bring his car to a stop very shortly. And now there it goes. I'm not sure there is a point where you'd want to stop it. And he has been removed from the game to avoid it causing any issues for anyone else. So, Toby Jones looking very good for him. He's got a good lead that he inherited. He immediately went to these slick tyres and read the conditions well. That's how he won the race. He read the conditions well. He knew they were going to dry. As Chantal Hawk here you can see is right up behind Dan Milner. But will she have to stop again? That's the big question. I think if she does, it will be at the end of this lap. The clouds are coming over here. I think if she has to pit, it will be this lap. But to see if she can possibly take 4th place, she is going to try to make the end. Actually, I don't believe it will be this lap if she's going to pit. It'll be next lap. So, here comes Chantal Hawk. Oh, moving around on the straight is Dan Milner. And Hawk has taken 4th place from Dan Milner. That is a crucial move. But the thing is, she may have to pit, but it's this lap. If she is going to pit, it'll be this lap, I think it will be. As Toby Jones has started his penultimate lap. If she's not going to have to pit, it won't be enough to catch Wellesley. But still, Wellesley at this rate is going to end the season as the only driver, or not end the season, go into the next part of the season as the only driver who has been on the podium in every race. Chantal Hawk's not going to pit. She might pit this on the penultimate lap. I do hope she doesn't, because she has driven really well. I think she should be able to get those tyres to the end, but they might have worn out so much the car might come undrivable. Chantal Hawk's got a good history. Hannah Duran has managed to get past Kieran Hardy. Let's have a look at this, how she did it. Seems to be quite a way back. Toby Jones right behind the speed tech. No pit signal on Chantal Hawk yet. We've got a yellow out. Oh! Lucas Quintanilla! No! No! Lucas Quintanilla has come together with James Lang. Oh, that's such a shame. That is such a shame. He was having such a good race. And he looked on course to break the curse. That is a real shame for Lucas Quintanilla. No time for a safety car. But never mind Lucas Quintanilla. Toby Jones, he read the conditions well. He's going to round the final corner. It's going to be Toby Jones who is going to take a second career win. Toby Jones wins the Canadian Grand Prix. He read the conditions the exact perfect way. Alex Moore is going to take second. And Wellesley is going to take third. Wellesley is going to come home in third. So he's going to maintain his, extend his championship lead. Not over Morse, but over Duran. Chantel Hawk's going to come home in 4th. Dan Milner's going to come home in 5th. Hannah Duran's going to take 6th. Hardy's going to take 7th. Coombs 8th. Bucker 9th. Towson's got a smoking engine. Is he going to be able to make it to the finish? Oh, he's lapped, so he's already finished. But he is going to lose an engine from this race. But that was a decent race. We had a lot of confusion in terms of the tyre strategy, but in the end that created that mixed the field up a little bit, and then that created an enthralling race here at Montreal. Here at Montreal. And as the rain falls again, just as the race finished, it was too late to affect the race. It's only light rain. All the drivers are going to come onto the podium. There was a lot of overtaking. So, Toby Jones wins the Canadian Grand Prix in an enthralling... We had a lot of confusion as a result of the technical issues, or not technical issues, or the confusion regarding what tyre everyone was supposed to be on. Everyone thought it was a time for inters, and then they all realised that it wasn't. But such a shame for Lucas Quintanilla. He had driven a fantastic race up until then. He had driven a fantastic race. In the championship, Wolesley's lead has extended. Coombs GP are ahead of Dork now, back ahead of Dork. But an interesting race. But let's have the gap Wolesley has now. 62 points. 66 points over Alex Moores. Anyway, I'll be right back. And then it is time for the podium. Don't forget you can rate the race. Make sure you rate it by the excitement, not due to the issues that were had earlier on. So, a fascinating Canadian Grand Prix. We're almost ready for the podium. So, we're just getting ready for the podium. So we're almost ready for the podium. So we're almost ready. So here we go.
I'm going to have to run to the podium. Absolute joy, my man. I've enjoyed it hugely. Off we go for the podium. What a great GP2 race.
So, in third place, Wesley. In second place, Alex Moores. And the winner, Toby Jones. And for him and CoolGP, we hear the British National Anthem. As now the trophy is about to be presented. As Toby Jones holds aloft the first place trophy. The Constructors' Trophy is presented to Coomsby, their first win since Turkey 2014. The second place driver, Alex Moores. He beat him with Wesley today, but still not quite managed to close the gap and got to the 1. And the championship leader, I mean, yes, he's going to be a bit disappointed, but he extends his championship lead. As now, it is time. It's time for the champagne. The champagne is sprayed on the Montreal podium. And that is the Canadian Grand Prix. Anyway, I'm now going to wrap this up now. It's been a very long stream. Of course, due to all the issues that were had, which caused the race to be delayed. Eventually we did get the race underway, and we did get the full 70 laps in, and when we got underway we had enthralling racing. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in Valencia.